Hello, I'm Kristina Derro. I'm one of the attorneys here at Legal Help for Veterans that assists in the prosecution of VA claims. And I actually am here to talk with you today a little bit about traumatic brain injuries, otherwise abbreviated as TBIs. And with the OIF and OEF conflict that's occurring now, we have a lot of veterans that are coming out that have traumatic brain injuries. However, you can get a traumatic brain injury from a variety of events. It doesn't need to be just an IED attack. You can also have a head injury during a car accident that occurred during service. You could have fallen off a ladder. We even have some veterans who were paratroopers and had really bad landings, and they suffered a TBI, during one of their landings. What the VA looks for is that you have an incident in service that caused the TBI. Again, whether it's a IED attack, you were in a car accident, something like that you can show. You also need to have current residuals. So it's not enough just to have an incident during service, you need to have a current problem that's still affecting you today. And VA actually looks to 3 different categories for a TBI. The first category is your cognitive functioning. And examples of that would be maybe a decreased memory, a shortened attention span, or difficulties with information processing. They also look to a second category of emotional and behavioral functioning. And that's where they examine you for symptoms of mental health disorders or perhaps even a behavior change if you had a severe enough TBI. The third category is any physical disabilities that you still suffer from as a result of your TBI. And that can be motor and sensory dysfunction, you can have pain, you maybe have visual impairments, hearing loss or tinnitus. A lot of our veterans still have seizures, they have headaches, or they'll even black out periodically. VA, unfortunately, tends to significantly underrate or not recognize all of the symptoms that the veteran may be suffering for. So we definitely suggest that you are rated for a TBI or you do want to get service connected for it, that you definitely have a professional help you out with those claims, because like I said, VA does tend to make some mistakes in working up those claims. And also, VA tends to deny the claims because the veteran may have not had loss of consciousness during the event in service. First off, that's a little bit misleading because in order to get a diagnosis for a TBI by a doctor, you don't actually need to have a loss of consciousness. So VA's kind of throwing an extra requirement in that they're not able to do. And also, a lot of times the veteran may not know if they lost consciousness or not, because again, this may have occurred when they were by themselves, or if they were in, one of their Humvees that blew up. If there are other soldiers around, the other soldiers are busy dealing with their own issues and not focusing on the veteran and can't then say, oh, well, yes, you definitely did lose consciousness. I noticed that. And also, one of our practice tips would be to have your doctor complete a neuro psych exam on you. Very often, VA doctors will simply give you a questionnaire and determine that you don't have a TBI. However, a neuro psych exam will definitely evaluate you not only for symptoms of a TBI, but also mental health disorders, because very often mental health disorders have the same sort of symptoms that overlap. And it'll be helpful for the doctor when they give you that exam to kind of parse out what symptoms you have and what they can be attributed to. So hopefully that's helpful for you, and thank you very much for checking in with us here at Legal Help for Veterans.